Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. I just want to do a quick review and kind of a safety thing, guys. You guys know I'm working on this mule conversion. I'm putting a Predator motor into an old 1987 Kawasaki mule, and it requires a lot of cutting of metal and fabbing of things and so forth. And I normally use these kind of grinders. They're from Harbor Freight. They go on sale for about $10. This one smoked. I don't know if the brushes went or what exactly transpired with it, but you turn it on and it doesn't go around anymore. But also note, I turned it on and it's on, and it's going to stay on until you turn it off. Most of these grinders end up kind of looking like this after a short period of time, and the reason why is this guard isn't very good, and this thing kind of keeps getting in the way. So I was using this much as it is now, but look at this. Anybody see a problem? So I was underneath that thing working away. It was more jacked up at the time, and matter of fact, this is the wheel that was on it, and it started spraying me in the face. So I changed it to this one. But I was thinking to myself, you know, what's the good of all this stuff if I end up getting hurt because I'm using a piece of crap for a grinder, a $10 grinder? I mean, whose fault is that? So with that, I upgraded to this guy. And this guy, this is a paddle trigger. Right? It doesn't stay on if you let it go. Turns off, and you can't just push the thing down. You gotta flip this out of the way and push it down. The guard's made a little better, and these are like 4.5 amps. I think it is 4.3 amps. This is 6 amps. See it on there. So this thing is stronger. It's a little heavier. And I use this a lot more non-stop. As a matter of fact, I already burned 2 wheels up on it. I've been using it that much. And you know what? I'm very happy with it. The button for locking so that you can use the wrench to take the blade on and off is a lot easier to use. It's just heavier. Look at the difference in the size of the gearbox, so to speak, compared to these. This is what it looks like. So this is Harbor Freight. There's the SKU number 65519, and these things are typically, somewhere around $30, right? $29.99. I had a 20% off coupon, which knocks it down to $24.99, and then here in New York we have a nice big tax rate, so it goes up to about $26. I also had the coupon for the free meter, so I bagged the free meter. I mean, obviously it comes with the wrench and spare brushes and a book telling you to wear protective eyewear and the handle that I never seem to put on it. It also comes with a thick grinding wheel, like kind of a grinding stone type thing. Anyway, you know what? I really do recommend that you guys consider this. Obviously, this in its current situation with no handle and no guard is a lot smaller. But if you're using something like this, try not to be surprised if you get bit. Or it's also throwing sparks from completely around, where if you're kind of using this to cut off metal like this, you have the guard between you and the unit. and the blade. So, by the way, and that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be wearing your gloves or your safety wear, right? Let's try not to get hurt here. You might even say, well, I wear eyeglasses, I won't get anything in my eye. Well, what happens if you cut off this piece of metal and it decides to go airborne, right? That could be damaging. So you really want to be safe, and and once again, right? You can't accidentally press it. You got to deliberately flip this out of the way. This thing cost obviously a little more than twice what the cheap grinders cost, but I think it's worth the money. Perhaps a little safety. So my review, I like this 4.5-inch angle grinder with the paddle switch. I like the switch. I like the extra. It's stronger. It's it doesn't seem to get hot as quick. The cheap ones do get hot quicker. It does weigh a little bit more, but I found the weight seemed, especially when I was cutting off metal like that strip, it seemed to help it stay put, less bouncy. Seems to be a little better made than these. Seems like they did upgrade it. I mean, they call it professional. Of course, they offer to sell you the 2-year warranty on it, that if it burns up in 2 years, all you have to do is pay them like $15 and you get a new one. Well, if you only paid $26 for it new, I'm not sure it's worth $15 to put a warranty on it. I didn't. I don't know, maybe some of you guys would consider that smart to do. But for me, I wasn't going to do that. So, compact yet powerful professional performance. I like it. I think it was a good investment, and I think it might save me some pain and suffering from an injury. I don't seem to be the only one who has these grinders get loose on them. Dizzy has a video up where the grinder got loose and it ate into his sweatshirt. I got this caught on something. That's how I tore that. It wasn't a grinder. I had one of these grinders with a wire wheel on it. I was cleaning the floor in the reefer box, and I just had the wire wheel on it. It was bare, just like this one was. And I bumped it into something, and it got loose for me. And the thing was jumping around inside the reefer box with me. It was between me and the door, and literally it was all over the place. It was being like locked in a small room with a raccoon. I mean, the thing just, I couldn't seem to get away from it. And the grinder was between me and the cord and me and the door. So it's not like I could get out the door and, just grab the cord, the extension cord, and unplug it. I had to wait for it to dance around. And let me give you a hint, with a wire wheel on it, it doesn't shatter, right? The grinding wheel didn't shatter. So it just danced around and danced around and danced around. Finally, it kind of got itself into a corner, and I managed to get by it, and I got outside and I unplugged it. I also had this one. I had the bed up on that thing, and I was grinding away, and it got loose for me. And as a matter of fact, that's why I decided to buy this one. And it danced around and danced around, and as I was trying to back away from it to get to the cord, finally the disc shattered and threw stuff all over the place, and it just sat there, with basically the metal piece of it kind of grinding along, but it wasn't bouncing any longer. So I managed to get away with it without being injured. But after that particular incident, I said, you know what? I gotta use a grinder that has a guard, and I have to use a grinder with a paddle switch. save myself some injury perhaps. Alright folks, I hope this helps. So if anybody out there is considering a new grinder, consider going professional. I really want to thank you folks for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up, and get out there and enjoy all your days. Take care now folks. Bye.